Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Tycho album, Awake. This is the fourth full-length LP, I believe, from California-based music producer Tycho. It has been a little while since we last heard from this guy, I believe back in 2011 with his last full-length LP, Dive, which, at least in my opinion, seemed like one of the last dying breaths of what we remember as chillwave. Really light, summery, pleasant, easygoing electronic instrumentals on this thing, loaded with atmosphere and feel-good vibes, sweet melodies, shimmering synthesizers, nothing too gripping, nothing too offensive. In my opinion, music for those who don't want their buzz harshed. For me, it's music that sets a mood. It's not bad for a song or two, but it tends to just fall in the background for me as I listen to an entire record of this stuff. Overall, the LP is just a little too pastel for me. Given that, I was not really looking forward to what Tycho was going to do on this new full-length LP of his, especially since it looks like I don't know, it's kind of like a different version, or rather a rendition with the repeat of the Sunset album art, but just kind of in a more minimalistic way. However, I will say that Awake is a pretty impressive change of pace for Tycho. He moves from what sounds like a single, lone, bedroom producer to a full band. There are a lot of tight instrumental grooves on this LP, snappy, crisp drum sounds, shimmering, twinkly guitars, warm bass lines. I love the tone of the bass on this thing. A lot of the bass lines are driving and have kind of a picked sound to them, not fingered. And for the most part, Tycho just kind of keeps it instrumental as usual. And this time around, instead of just feeling like an average chillwave or just hazy electronic music project, Tycho seems a lot more like a more pleasant on-the-ear version of a post-rock act like 65 Days of Static or Maserati. Or maybe like Battles with zero eccentricity or experimentation. And that's essentially what this record comes down to for me. Tycho has made a major change to the instrumental qualities of his music, but he has maintained that really sort of chill, laid-back vibe. I think the instrumentation is a lot more tangible, which overall makes these very chill, pleasant instrumentals more engaging for me. But there are still a considerable amount of songs on this record that, to me, are nothing more than kind of uneventful. I do think that live, more raw instrumental element does add positive qualities to this record, like on the song Die, where I'm hearing a lot of explorative synthesizer leads playing on the track. I also love the progression of this song from its very subtle start to some of the more heavy beats and layered synthesizers on the back end. And I actually think there's a decent amount of variety among these tracks too, like on the song APOGEE, which surprisingly incorporates some drum and bass breaks into its rhythm section. But even with all of this production quality being improved and some different stylistic influences coming into the recipe on this Tycho album, I can't say that this record goes out on a limb even once, or even stirs up a really exhilarating moment. And still, I don't think that is Tycho's M.O. I don't really think I can expect that from a Tycho record into the future, but who knows? I didn't expect sort of more tangible instrumentation to turn up on this record, and here we are. While I do think this record has a lot going for it, I prefer just a bit more grit and eccentricity in my music, that's all. At least what Tycho continues to do in terms of his style and his sound on this record is sounding a lot more intricate and engaging. I'm feeling a decent to strong 6 on this thing. Transition. If you've given this record a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's about it. Anthony Fantano, music review forever.